Hey guys, welcome to AllGen's Money Brews, where we talk about money and over our brew of the day. What are you drinking?
I was going to ask you. I am drinking a French Verona.
Wow, that sounds fancy.
Je m'appelle Robert, French Verona.
Oh wow, okay. Oui. And what am I drinking is kombucha.
Isn't that alcoholic?
A little bit, but we want to talk about
Oh, okay, all right.
Today we're going to have a discussion around a topic that many of us might not have asked ourselves before.
Okay.
And the question, I'm going to ask you the question, Robert. The question is, how was money while you were growing up? What is your relationship with money while you were growing up?
I love that question. I'll tell you why. I feel like so many times we get caught up in the future making financial decisions, right? We've talked about it in the past, regrets and all sorts of other fun topics like pleasure and money. And when we think about how we feel around that idea, it comes back to how you were raised with it, right? And that starts to shape the way in which you look at money and its meaning and its emotion and all of that intangible element around money, right? Growing up, money it felt scarce. And I imagine that that's probably true for a lot of people, whether it's real or perceived. I just had a sense of there were things that we could have and things that we couldn't have. Our needs were always covered, but sometimes our wants were wait for Christmas and birthdays. And it made me feel like money was something that didn't come all the time, so you had to be very careful with it and protect it so it didn't slip through your fingers. How do you feel about money?
I kind of have a similar take on how I grew up with money. The one thing though was that my mom always told us, how much money she made, how much money my dad made. We didn't have luxuries, but we always had our basics and our basic needs taken care of, but nothing in terms of luxury. So it forced me to get a job really early because I wanted to have the nice clothes or all my wants that my parents couldn't afford. I wanted to make sure that I could give them to myself. So I learned very early on the value of $1, and because I was working when I was 13, 14 as a babysitter, then my first job, etc. So yeah, I think the one thing is that we want our viewers to understand is that the way you grew up around money and your view of money back when you were a child doesn't necessarily have to be the view today.
Right.
It can change, it can vary, and you can have, there might be some things that you can take that are good and then some things that might not be so great. So it's understanding that it's okay to have this conversation around how was money when you grew up, and take the good and the bad, learn, get some resources, get educated, and talk to a financial advisor if you do need the help, and someone that will understand and ask you that question.
Right.
It's important.
Yeah, because you need to figure out where you came from. It's just like a story. You don't start a story mid chapter. There's a once upon a time, and there's a once upon a time for a reason, because that starts to set the tone for what the story is going to be like. What we're saying is, if this is your story and you want to write it differently, start with the beginning and then rewrite those chapters as you grow so you can figure out the ending that you want for yourself.
Exactly.
Talk about it, and that's the only way to get better with it. So
we'd like to know, what about you? How was money while you were growing up? If you would like to share with us, please do so. We'd love to hear back from you guys.
Absolutely. We'd love to hear how money was growing up for you and what it is that you want to change about your life with money. Thank you so much. I misunderstood that.
What are those called? I like to know the technical term.
Lower thirds.
Lower thirds. We're going to have a lower third with our name on it. Third. Idea. I don't know how you... All right, bring it back. All right.
There you go, yes.